Are you ready to turn your potential into performance? If so, you're in the right place. This is the Coach Bru Show, and here's your host, John Brubaker.
What do Elvis, Tupac, Obama, and Ric Flair all have in common? Welcome to the Coach Bru Podcast Performance Report, episode number 507. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/coachbrew. There's over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Kindle, Android, or MP3 player. It's audibletrial.com/coachbrew. So what do Elvis, Tupac, Obama, and Ric Flair all have in common? Well, now that I have your attention, those four names are the names of plays the Los Angeles Rams NFL team uses as audibles. Stick with me. Believe it or not, this actually has everything to do with you and making your 2018 your best year ever. You might be wondering, what's an audible? Well, it's when the coach calls a play in from the sidelines to his quarterback in football. And before the ball snapped, the quarterback sees how the defense is lined up and realizes that play that the coach just called in ain't going to work. So he does what's called calling an audible, not to be confused with Audible audiobooks. He calls an audible at the line of scrimmage to get his teammates to run a different play, get them all on the same page, but on a different play that'll be more successful against the defense that he sees. So basically, it's a football term for making an adjustment, being flexible. Quarterbacks, and this is where you're in this story too, quarterbacks aren't the only ones who call audibles. All successful people do. I bet you do too, whether you realize it or not. The question is, are you doing it often enough and at the right times? Why is calling an audible so important? Because very few things we plan in life work out exactly as we plan it. As a result, calling audibles is actually one of the most important arts you need to master in goal achievement. So as we're talking about goal achievement in the last two podcasts, a big question I've been getting is, why set 90-day goals, Coach Bru? Why not have like a 5-year plan or an annual goal? Why 90-day goals? Or, a quarter of a fiscal year, 90 days. Well, it's pretty simple. I think we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in a day or a week, but drastically underestimate what we can achieve over the course of a couple of years. So by setting quarterly goals, you discover this nice sweet spot that's kind of in the middle of those two things. 90 days isn't overwhelming like a year or two. It's long enough to make significant progress, yet short enough to stay focused. It also allows you to move fast without compromising any of your important strategy. Now, there are a couple phases to all this. First one is setup. You should ask yourself, where do I want to be 12 weeks from now? Now, if you're having a little trouble with that, that seems a little foggy. To get more clarity around that question of where do you want to be 12 weeks from now, fast forward in your mind 12 weeks and ask yourself, what needs to happen for me? What needs to happen to me for me to be pleased with my progress? Next thing you need to do is after you set it up, is break it down. Here's what I mean. Each month, and this is sort of my system and my synergy group accountability coaching program. Each month, what we do is we select the highest value activities, which are typically like 2 or 3 at most. The highest value activities that'll move us closest to our quarterly goal. Then each week, we select the highest value activities that will move us closest to our monthly goal. So we've broken down that quarterly or that 90-day goal into monthly goals, and we've broken that down into what we need, what targets do we need to hit each week to achieve that. And then we take it down another level, third level. Each day we select the highest value activities that are going to enable us to win that day and then subsequently win the week. I think we need to know what success is going to look like, not just at the end of 90 days, but the end of the month, the end of the week, the end of the day. What would make today a win? So after you set it up and then break it down into bite-sized pieces so we're building momentum, the third thing we do is what I call the PER, or the PER cycle. This is something I've seen the Pittsburgh Pirates do to perfection under their manager, Clint Hurdle. It's called PER, Plan, Execute, Review. So what they do is they craft a plan, they execute that plan each day, and then they review it at the end of the day. Well, we want you to do the same thing. Plan, execute, and review on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. So the key is to have a plan, but be flexible enough about the execution of it. Each day, be prepared to call an audible to put yourself in a better position to be successful, because that's all an audible is you're opting out of a bad play, or in your case, if you're not a quarterback in football, you're opting out of a low-value activity and opting into being flexible enough to adapt into performing higher-value activities that are going to move you closer and faster towards your goal. So the beauty of setting quarterly goals is also the ability to call that audible and adjust strategy on the fly. And that works best when you have accountability partners, because they can give you real-time feedback to help you know really when you should and shouldn't audible. There are times when, I used to coach college football in many moons ago in another life, and there are times when you'd be sitting down breaking down the film, and you'd see the quarterback shouldn't have audibled out of something and into something else. So it always helps to have that outside kind of unbiased third party be able to look at things and give you real-time feedback. Should you or shouldn't you call an audible here? Because when you have weekly accountability, you can test something fast, fail fast, but ideally you're not going to fail. But you can test something fast, fail fast, and if necessary, audible, aka adjust, to achieve a better result. So these are just a few of the components of my Synergy Group Accountability Coaching Program. And if you have any questions, what I'd love to do is I'd love to schedule a Q&A call with you. If you're listening to this and you're curious, I'd love to schedule a Q&A call with you so I can answer any questions you might have about enrolling in my exclusive group coaching program. Love to show you how the program can support you in reaching your goals in 2018 to make this your best year ever. And feel free to reach out to me to schedule a 15-minute call on my calendar this week. The link is Calendly, CALENDLY.com/coachbrew/synergy. Also put that in the show description. Calendly.com/coachbrew/synergy. What you need to know is there's only 5 spaces available in my coaching program, and the doors close on this thing in 4 days, midnight, January 12th. That's the deadline. It's not going to reopen again in 2018. So if you want something you never had, you got to be willing to do something you've never done before. Why don't you take a look at our Synergy Group Accountability Coaching Program? Let us help you take your results to the next level. Oh, and by the way, if you reach your goal, I'm going to give you $1,000 back at the end of the program. How's that for me being invested in your success? Thanks for tuning in to the Coach Brew Podcast, Performance Report, episode 507. Again, the link to that program to schedule a Q&A call is going to be in the show description. And we'll catch you next week. Make it a great day.
Thanks for listening to The Coach Brew Show. If you're not currently subscribed to the podcast, sign up now on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. And for more information to turn your potential into performance, head on over to coachbrew.com now.